Quinn being hovered over right now by Alternate. Let's have a look what they've got. I mean, Twisted Fate for Ellen Lord, Lee Sin for the jungle, Thresh support, Ezreal as the AD carry. So they're missing a top laner right now.
Yeah, and they're missing tank ability and survivability. Thresh and Lee Sin will get a little bit beefier and they will get some more survivability, but they're not your traditional frontline tanks like you would expect a Nunu and a Malphite to be in this situation. So if they go Quinn, this is an aggressive, this is a we want to kill you and keep killing you comp, because they're not going to have that prolonged battle. Vlad, however, will give them that HP, that sustain, and the ability to troll pool under the Slicing Maelstrom, under the Sona, under the Malphite. And that is actually what Lemon Dogs did to beat Ninjas in Pajamas, if I recall correctly as well. It was a very, very powerful Vlad pick.
Yeah, that's the second time we've seen Vladimir so far here in the summer split. Actually, that's twice the amount that we saw him in the spring split. He was picked only once by Gambit in their game all the way back in week 2 against the former Copenhagen Wolves, now Ninjas in Pajamas. So not something that we saw a lot of, but he started to creep in. I mean, this is only week 1 and we've already seen him twice, so that's maybe a sign of things to come from this one. But some very interesting champions coming out from this one. For Ellen Lord, going to have a lot of pressure on his shoulders with that Twisted Fate to perform.
And we do see that Ocelot has taken teleport as well to try and counter those Destiny ganks from Twisted Fate. I think the Vladimir pick is probably one of the best picks of the entire series so far, basically because he can avoid anything and everything that's thrown at him. Once he eventually gets to Zhonya's Hourglass, that's going to be 2 moments of time where he's untargetable, uninterruptible, and is going to be able to survive, be a nuisance, get more damage, get more sustain, and basically just be a bother in the team fights.
On the other side then, of course, that Thresh and Ezreal combo. Creatine, as we said before, we've seen him time and time again be able to pull out top-notch performances with this Ezreal. We'll see how he actually builds in this time, whether he goes that more traditional route or more the blue build, which is, funnily enough, becoming the traditional route with the Ezreals these days. And the Thresh, which, those hooks, we always say it, game-changing ability.
Yeah, it's the best way to describe it, and it's going to be even more important because it's going to take more time for the alternate lineup to get to that power position. Vladimir is going to need levels and items before he's a threat. Twisted Fate in a similar position, and Ezreal as well. That blue build, it takes a long time to get there. On SK's side, Ken and Malphite, Nunu, Caitlyn, they hit those power positions a lot earlier. So they're going to need to make some aggressive plays early, and we actually seen a last-second swap. Ocelot's playing Malphite in the mid, learning from Xpeke yesterday.
Well, he learnt the hard way, actually, about Xpeke's Malphite in that mid lane, or in the top lane as they were. He, of course, dueled him 3 times, and he died 3 times. 1 versus 1, no outside interference from that, so we were looking to replicate this one against Ellen Lord's Twisted Fate. But here we go then, LCS versus Alternate. And, well, it's Alternate that are in the better position currently in the league table of the LCS Europe, almost said spring, summer split.
12 weeks of saying spring split, it kind of becomes ingrained into you. But yeah, we'll see how well SK can handle this early level aggression. I like the Malphite against Twisted Fate. If he gets gold carded up, that passive of Malphite will help block some of that damage. I think I've said that a million times today already, but we've seen a lot of Malphite this weekend, so it bears repeating. And of course, if he does get a good unstoppable force, he can interrupt Destiny. Full vision of the alternate team means SK are completely aware of where their opponents are, and they're basically moving into the jungle of alternate 100% safe.
As far as I'm aware, they've only spotted Sona here, though, from the SK team going in. The fact that he's not come out of that jungle in that position will probably indicate that SK are going to be in there somewhere, but got to be a little bit careful about where they're going. You can see the alternate have got 2 wards down here on the bottom side of that jungle. SK doing a very similar thing on the top side. And it looks like, will they hang around here? Ocelot is actually recalling, but 4 men stood in position for SK Gaming, so indicates to me at least a golem steal.
Both teams have also got very, very deep wards, and with SK hanging around in this top lane, they may be looking to set something up on Kerp. Kerp has still not leveled any abilities, so we'll see what he does decide to skill. Or if they face check, this could be so scary, and the fact that they only went for the golems means that Kerp is basically going to see them and just walk away. He's basically wasting some time from SK.
Yeah, just trying to bring a bit of apprehension there into the lineup. Hercubot and co are still waiting at that red buff, and you can see the alternate have already called this one in. We have to react to this one. We have to get back, take their red buff to make sure that we don't fall behind in the buff game.
The problem is it's going to take them a lot longer. Look at RNA's HP. He's down to 210 hit points. Thresh is trying to help out as best he can. He's going to get it down to within smite range, and he's going to be able to finish it off quite quickly. But it means he doesn't have that smite available for his blue. It's going to slow him down.
One really key thing to mention in this one, though, RNA took the entire camp away. Hercubot left one. So that's not going to be respawning until an RNA actually gets up there, which is going to be in some time here because he's going to go to his blue buff first of all.
And the one thing that does, it's a hit and miss thing, because now, of course, it's going to delay the spawn, it's going to delay the experience, delay the buff, which is, of course, all negatives. The positive is that it's going to be at RNA's timing. So he'll be fully aware of it, which means they can pre-plan for it, get some wards, get some vision, and make sure it's not stolen away. Ferendinor took a massive chunk of damage from Candy Panda in this mid lane, and he's starting to chug through those potions and drinking from the flask, but he's a heavy drinker, as Kobe likes to say. So we'll see how well he handles this heavy poke lane of Caitlyn and Sona.
Now we see on the bottom lane, Jerry just putting down a bit of harassment on towards Ocelot. See how well he copes with this 2v1 situation. A definite mix-up of things here with Ocelot going down into the bottom and Candy Panda and Nif in that middle lane trying to get and succeeding at getting damage onto this outer middle turret early on.
And one of the key things about actually getting the turret down will be the presence of Hercubot. Nunu will need to come into this lane, apply the Blood Boil to Caitlyn, and allow her to hit the turret faster, harder, and get 3 members onto the turret. They'll allow Sona then to zone out Twisted Fate, give him some poke, sustain up any damage that Caitlyn takes, and they can force that tower down quickly. Right now, though, because of the pressure on the bottom lane, Hercubot's been forced to react and maybe going to come down to defend.
Yeah, going to have to do something there. Ocelot doing the best that he possibly can here. The hold on, he's actually going to get hooked out, but don't think the damage is quite going to be there to finish him off as Creighton takes 1 hit from the turret. Hercubot, as you said, will have to come across. In the meantime, SK are pushing this mid lane. RNA has just got a shuriken to the face to alert him to the fact that Kevin knows that he's hanging around there. And you see that middle outer turret is already down to half HP. And more valuable than the bottom lane.
Yeah, the moment Hercubot is relieved of this post in the bottom lane, I expect him to go mid, get that Blood Boil down in Caitlyn, and that should take that tower down. It's something that Ninjas in Pajamas were trying to do, I believe, when they were playing yesterday, and Bjergsen was actually saying, like, we needed to get that tower very quickly with our Caitlyn and Lulu combo. We'll see if an alternate can drag out the time frame. Oh, RNA's got deep!
RNA going very deep there. Actually had to get away on towards Fereldenlord in that top lane. Kevin and Kerp have just had an exchange as well. It's all kicking off all over the map at this stage, but still no one after almost 5 minutes able to get that first blood. There's Kevin continuing to lay down the damage, and Hercubot is now up trying to steal away the jungle of Alternate, knowing that RNA is in the mid lane and low.
Yeah, all of that damage that landed onto RNA was basically because of Lee Syndrome. He followed in his Q, which he didn't need to do. Finally, Hercubot shows his face up here. Will apply the Blood Boil to Candy Panda on this next minion wave. There are no minions there, which is why he didn't do it instantly. And that should actually be enough to take this tower down. If Fereldenlord sticks around, he's actually within diving range HP because Sona does have Ignite. So let's keep our eyes on that.
There we go, Blood Boil is on. Fereldenlord stun card onto Candy Panda. Best he can really hope for you to delay this one. Nice dodge of that Piltover Peacemaker. Can't really say the same for Candy Panda with the wild cards there. He walks straight in, but look at this, Hercubot coming down to the bottom lane. And Creighton with the lantern back off to safety.
And basically, because Candy Panda opted to land an auto attack and go for that Peacemaker onto Fereldenlord's Twisted Fate, he didn't get the tower. So it's just delayed at 1 wave, but he should be able to pick it up. Candy Panda's been caught by RNA.
Going very, very low here, but not got the damage there to follow things through. Not got the follow-up of it and was scared himself of actually being turned around on. With the fact that Candy Panda does have that barrier and Flash available. This is a great thing, you know, Flash just out of range of what Lee Sin can do to you, but you're Caitlyn. You are still in range to lay down that damage, so we'll see about that one, but still no first blood coming in. The important thing being, though, that they've managed to hold, at least for now, onto that middle turret.
Yeah, it's going to at least just give them a little bit more time to hold out, a little bit more time to farm, try to get Fereldenlord closer to level 6, and we'll see how and where he decides to gank. We talk about Twisted Fate. It's the first time we've seen him in a long time since we've been casting, because he's practically perma-banned around the globe. It's like the #1 most banned champion, I believe, internationally. And, you know, when you look at the performances and the power of Destiny, you see why. Aranea is stood right on top of a ward, so Hercubot's going to be rolling around. Neither Ocelot nor Hercubot have their ultimates up. And if the middle lane of Candy Panda and Nif start to come down, you can expect a fight. If not, basically just giving up the tower for free.
Yep, and it was Jerry that just finished that one off. Nice little start from there on that one. Hercubot right now is going to be spotting Aranea in the jungle. Can they go through? That is a very big snowball flying a long way as he gets away with the Lance. Candy Panda there going low in the mid lane as well. Where is the next action going to come down? Still no first blood in this game after 7.5 minutes gone. Candy Panda just starting to heal that all back up thanks to Nip, as well as we are going to see Aranea coming. He's going to kick Candy Panda back. Can he get away? The wild card land. Aranea gets first blood against his former team.
The ward that was put down in the middle of that lane allowed Aranea to dive up there, and because there was no animation of putting a ward down, Candy Panda had no idea that was coming. He had no idea that Aranea was going to dive in there and get booted in the back of the head. So first blood secured, a great positional play. And you talked about in the build-up. We know Aranea's Lee Sin can be great, and that was a very, very good play from him.
Exactly how it needs to happen here as well for Alternate. And that's the funny thing, Alternate have come out very strong. SK not so much, I think we can safely say, in the summer split so far. But this is more about, you know, old things to settle and, you know, just showing about who's boss in Spain these days. Although Peke might have something to add to that one in as well. Dragon going to be started by Alternate 8.5 minutes in.
Does he lose a few points or title to the claim after losing to UG earlier in the day? So is that a possibility? Right now, Dragon is started by Alternate. They've got vision, they've got control. This is going to be pretty easy and free for them. There was no contest at all from SK.
Lord actually spotting Candy Panda in the bush there, and with that amount of people, especially the stun card plus the hook from Jerry, probably would have ended up dead from that as the ace in the hole comes down by Candy Panda. Just going to be spamming that out to try and force them away. Funnily enough, that turret is still alive. The one that we were talking about at least 5 minutes ago, possibly going to go down in the next wave, is still alive.
And basically what that means is that SK are now tunneled into this lane. They cannot rotate. They cannot apply pressure elsewhere because they need to get this tower down. At the moment, they've now moved Creatine and Jerry into this mid lane to defend it off and hold it up. And this is basically what cost the early game for Ninjas in Pajamas, being unable to get that early aggression of the tower pressure and the map pressure. It didn't play into their favor. Alternate, however, they made it work a little bit because they got the bottom tower early and then they picked up a dragon as well. So they've actually almost turned it around on their opponents.
There is Nunu just headed into the top side there. Hercubot just going to try and cause a few problems for Aranea, who's actually a level above him here in that one. And Nunu, Hercubot, is going to just smite away that big wraith. He wanted that.
Yeah, desperately wanted to get that smite down and be able to obviously consume some of the other camps and get some of the temporary buffs on there. We're not on 3.8, we're on 3.7. Right now, ooh, Destiny has been channeled. Ocelot may be in trouble.
Yeah, he's going to get stunned up here. There come the wild cards. Ultimate comes out. He uses the unstoppable force, but honestly, he's not going to escape with this one with his life. Nicely dodged by Pearson there in the end, and that will be 2-0 Alternate. And there's the danger of Twisted Fate as Aranea comes in again, in towards the middle, going to kick Nip back. And now, are they going to have the damage here or the health to finish things up? Jerry now the one that's in a little bit of problems. Hercubot going to go in there, but Ferelon coming around the side as well. A messy encounter here in the middle.
But he gets the barrier from Candy Panda, which was very, very key. And that kill that they picked up on the bottom lane, Jerry even got an assist. Ace in the hole, not going to be enough.
Very, very close there. I think Aranea realized it as he was walking home, as in, please don't kill me, please don't kill me.
Don't shoot me, don't shoot me, don't shoot me.
We're good.
Great play from Jerry as well. He got a shield down onto Ferelon just before he Destiny, which meant he actually got an assist on that kill as well, thanks to shielding up some of the damage. So, you know, great play there, getting in on the party, adding up to the score. We do see the mid lane tower has gone down, and SK almost putting something together in that mid lane, but Alternate able to fend off the aggression and not give away any kills.
Hercubot very cheeky there, smite of the big wraith again, 2 times in a row, 2 spawns in a row, so you know, always getting that bonus. That's what you need to do these days with that Nunu. Tower damage coming in on the top lane. Derp just trying to hold out as best as he possibly can from this one. But Kevin, at this stage, with that Haunting Guys and the Doran's Blade added in there for that extra AD as well, causing a few problems for him. But Aranea going to get into the top, but he is Kennen at the end of the day. He's just got to dodge that Q now from Aranea. Doesn't, but he's already back to the turret.
Yeah, he's not within range of being jumped on, and of course the Dragon's Rage was not actually available. If RNA had timed that gank a little bit better, he may have been able to follow it up and kick Kennen backwards, which would then have allowed some kill potential, but unfortunately literally going 3 seconds too early meant it wasn't available. New members of Alternate now are stacked up in this mid lane. Gold card about to be locked in for Pharrell and Lord. If anybody jumps forward, it's basically taunting, basically saying, I dare you to come at me, bro. And he'll just lock you up and shut you down.
And if anyone could pull the right card at the right time, you'd have to suspect that it would be Pharrell and Lord at this stage of his career.
He wouldn't be at 3,000 elo if he couldn't.
Yeah, he'd probably be at mine, as I have found out many a times playing Twisted Fate. As have some other pros as well. Not going to lie about that one.
Yes.
But right now we've gone into a bit more of a passive stage of things. A 2,000 gold lead almost has built up for Alternate. Plus we are tied here in turrets 1-1.
Oh, take a look at the top lane though. You can see Creatine and Aranea sneaking around Kevin. We do see Kerp. He's had enough of Kevin. He's left the Electro Hamster. He hasn't engaged.
Oh, Creatine going right in there for this one. Aranea is going to actually land the Q there just before he gets stunned
Destiny.
up. And here comes the Destiny for Ellenlord. Actually, is he going to pull the Q? Yes, he is. Under the turret. He will die in the last tick there coming out. There's the ultimate from Creatine as well to get some farm as he backs away. But another nicely executed gank from Alternate.
I believe the Unstoppable Force from Ocelot also missed as well. I didn't see just off to the side of the screen, but a very nice gank there coming from Alternate to secure their 3rd kill of the game. And that came from the fact that Kerp was like, I can't fight this guy anymore. He's been bullying me in the lane, and I prefer to go up against Malphite, who I'll have an easier time dealing with. Right now, the Kerp is very overextended. He's rolling that trackball at a mile a minute, and he's trying to get to safety as quickly as possible, and it looks like he does.
My mind is still boggled how one can be so amazing with such a mouse. And actually had a funny moment last night when we were talking about it with, I think it was Heaton, the manager of NIP, a Counter-Strike legend, of course, who said, imagine how good he would be if he used a normal mouse. Which, I think the answer from RNA was his arm gets too tired if he plays with a normal mouse.
He's that much of a gamer person that moving the arm is simply too much energy. Right now, Hercubot, along with 2 more members of SK, has snuck into this blue buff area. I say snuck, he's in full vision of Pharrell Lord's Twisted Fate, trying to at least put some pressure down and trying to at least challenge for this buff. They're 2,000 gold behind. Aranea is looking to make an engage. He misses the Sonic Wave, and it does look like Candy Pan is going to 90 caliber over the wall.
Yep, gets himself away from that one. Aranea is soon job done. He won't be coming back here for a little while, and they get a bunch of wards down on top of that dragon area. We'll see if they go in for it. What I really liked about that play as well, Aranea was playing the zoning game while the rest of the team got Pharrell blue buff. So they weren't actually looking for a fight. He was basically just fighting for space, fighting for an air of breathing room to guarantee that cooldown reduction and that mana regen for Twisted Fate. Right now, it's the first time that we've seen both teams grouped up as a 5-man unit. And absolutely nothing is going to come of it as SK decide they want to try to challenge for Baron. They're going to pink ward down themselves, and the pink ward war continues. Yeah, lots of wards being put into this next Dragon's Aranea. And we'll just scoot over the top, and that's the greatest thing that Aranea can have right now. A load of wards from his team, dashing around left, right, and center, but SK are going to be starting off this Dragon. Are Alternate going to go from this one? Wouldn't be the first time today that we've seen Aranea get in there for the steal, but this time it won't happen for him. And Jerry and Aranea are going to be melted here, right in the middle of the fight. There is the pull from Kerp. He's already got the Hemo plate down, as the Unstoppable Force comes in as well. They are in a lot of trouble here now, Alternate. Ocelot will fall in the end, and they're actually turning this one around. Double kill coming out. Creatine, can he get in there for the finisher? Kerp, is he going to flash away? No, he goes for the eat over the wall. Creatine will track down, and it ends up being a 4 for 3 in the end in favor of Alternate. That Dragon, though, did, of course, go over to SK.
That was actually a fantastic fight for SK up until the point they right-clicked on the wrong targets together. Their focus was not on the right people. They needed to get Creatine down first, and to be fair, there's a lot of damage threats from Alternate. Vlad, Lee Sin, Twisted Fate, Ezreal can all clean up a fight, so saying that they focused the wrong damage source is maybe overly critical of me, but if they had maybe gotten Ezreal out of the fight first, it would allow them to have controlled the Lee Sin, Twisted Fates, the Vlad a little bit better in that engage. So overall, not bad. And I think if they can repeat the process but just get the AD carry first, it'll change the results of the fight.
And there is that mid-outer turret finally answered back from Alternate, puts them 2-1 up. They've got a 3,200 gold lead at this point. And of course, that's 7-3 overall. Let's take a little bit of time here to look down the items. And Vladimir, especially Spirit of the Spectral Wraith, obviously giving him that AP, the cooldown, mana regen, which is not really going to be bothered about, but that Spellbound, which is a critical thing here for Vladimir.
Jack described that item in the best way possible, and I always use it because I really like it. It's the selfish spell vamp item. Instead of going for a Wota, to get team AoE spell vamp, that's a single item ability. Now, right now, Aranea and Curb, they were thinking about playing, but as soon as Nunu was revealed, they decided to back away, and that was wise to do so. In terms of some of the other items, we see a slightly modified blue build Ezreal. That's a Blade of the Rune King into the Elder Lizard, so or vice versa. We don't have a Tyrion yet, we don't have the Iceborne Gauntlet, so I'd like to see where Creatine decides to go with that build. In addition, for Ellenlord, he picked up an early Sheen, which would have signaled going for a Lich Bane, but then he's picked up a KG's Lucky Pick, which signals going for the Twin Shadows. So a little bit of indecisiveness in terms of itemization, I feel like, from the rest of the players.
Oh, Ocelot actually headed up to the top here. Curb could be in a little bit of trouble. Actually, he's going to go down from that one. Didn't even have time to get the pulled off Aranea. Is he going to fall here as well? He's going low, but the Lantern will pull him out to the safety. Last second, I think he should have been all right to have gone down there in that scenario. For Ellenlord trying to hold on to the turret, but I don't think there's anything left fighting for now. SK take it down.
That was a fantastic play from MOHGamiing. They showed that even though they are down, they are not out. They comboed together, they managed to get a kill, and rightfully so. They maybe should have got Aranea, but with his shield and the Dark Passage Lantern, he was able to get away. Brennan was overextended. The passage is there, and he takes a ride.
Takes a ride to safety and slowed down all the way back to it, which was a bit of a risky play there, but for Ellenlord, I think calculated, but you never quite know with those kind of things if something's just going to put your plan out of work. So, everyone going to be going back home here. A couple of items being picked up. We see that Candy Panda almost got that Infinity Edge finished. Compare that over to Creatine, who is once again having a fantastic game at 3-0-2 and is ahead in the farm with that Blade of the Ruin King in there as well, of course, as his Spirit of the Elder Lizard.
So I'd like to see, he's obviously going to pick up a set of Mercury Trades, and I think that's fantastic items against all of the stuns and the slows and the CC that's coming down from his opponent. So it's a wise decision. Instead of going for the likes of the cooldown boots or the Berserker's Greed, which is a little more traditional on your AD carries, and Ezreal in particular. In terms of the rest of the items, I still want to see where Ellenlord goes. He hasn't been back to shop in a little while, and he has actually just completed the Twin Shadows. So he wants to get those Destiny ganks off and be a little bit more mobile around the map.
Yeah, and also a good item to be getting in there, of course, against the double AP team. Get yourself that 40% magic resist in there, which is, well, a great thing to have against the double AP team. Goes without saying, really. Right now, blue buff is going to be given over towards for Ellenlord. We can see in the bottom lane that Curb is just waiting here in the bush, being a proper vampire as he waits for Candy Panda to step out of line for this one. Aranea coming around. Here we go. Emo play is down. Candy Panda is in now all kinds of trouble as the cube somehow missed there onto him. Nicely dodged. Barrier used. He gets kicked and finished off by Curb.
So a lot of abilities used, but they picked it up now. Nif is a little bit out of position. Gold card is primed. Nif gets stunned up. Aranea is going to follow the Lee Syndrome in. Nif is not able to get kicked back yet. He's going to use the Lantern to get to safety. Good play.
Here comes Twisted Fate as well into the mix of things. This could be bad, but here comes Kennen from the side. Jerry now the one that's in all kinds of trouble. He will go down to Ocelot, and that leaves us with 1 kill apiece. But support for AD carry, honestly, Alternate will be happy with that trade. Yeah,
at the end of the day, being able to take him out of the game, prevent him from farming, put him a little bit further behind, it is good. The one thing is, though, they did burn a lot of ultimates just to get that down. So the thing that you've got to keep in mind is that if the engagement happens again and Candy Panda's got a little bit more support, he's going to survive and going to be able to continue fighting for the rest of the team fight. Right now, though, this is a 4-man stack of MOHGamiing pushing out this bottom lane and just trying to shove down this last outer turret.
Yep, final one remaining for them. Would actually put them in the lead here on turrets and start to bring that gold very even. I mean, it's not a huge chunk right now. It's around about 2,000 gold. You see that brought straight back to just 1,000 at a 20-minute game. This is really cutthroat at this point. Very close.
This is also fantastic for SK because this is the strongest performance that we've seen out of them thus far this weekend. They're actually being able to make plays stick, and more importantly, they're being proactive as opposed to reactive. Right now, though, unfortunately, they don't have much vision of the dragon, so Alternate are going to secure themselves another dragon in the game and extend that gold lead just ever so slightly. But the numbers are so insignificant right now that it's basically dead.
Yep, certainly. If you look at the kill distribution as well for Alternate, it's really nice. Vladimir, 3-1-2, and 3-0-2 for the AD carry as well, Cretan. So, the kills right there are in those right places. Twisted Fate, as things go on, he's going to be getting stronger, but adds a lot more support in there with things. There's the blue buff being finished off and stolen away by Alternate. That's all going to add into their repertoire. And Kennen is in this top lane. He's got 4 men about to surround him.
Yeah, there's so many members of Alternate. They are just simply going to choke him out. Kevin's going to try to get to safety, but this is him going down.
Yeah, it's not really got anywhere to go, to be honest, from this one. I think he realized he was dead there.
Kind of feel a bit bad.
Finishes him off. Well, sometimes that happens to you. For some more than others, I'm going to add.
Yeah, take a look at this Nif now. Gold carded up.
No reaction needed.
Before I can even finish the sentence, that is just popped. And everybody knows all the Reddit threads and the talk. Sona's base HP, I believe, is lower than the melee minions as well. So very squishy champion. And with the numbers advantage, 5 versus 3, the pressure is on. Alternate want this tower.
Yeah, and look at that. Ocelot actually being caught off at the side there, taking a lot of damage. That turret is going to be going down here with this push. Are they going to get in there? The hook not quite landing, but they are going in. Twisted Fate is going to Destiny in as well. And I'll get Frenlo to step forward and then a step back with the lantern.
And there was a bit of a mad Destiny, to say the least. I'm not sure if they were anticipating a dive coming out, but nevertheless, they did get the vision. It could have just been a defensive one, ensuring that members of SK weren't as close as maybe they thought. And basically, once that information had been gained, they decided, no, it's not worth the dive. It's smarter to back off. I want to see where Creatine goes with his build. He's picked up a long sword now, so I want to see how that upgrades. There's a number of options that he can go with. But yeah, it could be a Last Whisper, something along those lines. It's really up to him.
Yeah, and look now at Vladimir as well. Abyssal Scepter added in there, and he's getting close to that magic Zhonya's. As you said, 2 possibilities then to avoid everything that they can throw in for limited amounts of time. And now, in a team like this, with the Unstoppable Force in particular, that's really, really important.
Yeah, and the Crescendo as well. Those are the 2 key abilities that need to be dodged and avoided, because if you're caught by either of them and the team of SK actually focuses, say Vlad in particular, they can drop him down in that short time frame. So basically it's going to be up to Kerp to, fool away or Zhonya's up once he gets to that point. Right now, though, it's basically still just farm fest. Alternate, they're in a strong position, but in order to push these inner turrets, they're going to need a lot more wards, and basically that's what they're trying to set up right now.
Yeah, and it feels like only just a couple of, in fact it was just 2 or 3 minutes ago that I was saying it was 1,000 gold difference between these 2 sides. That's moved itself now to 5,000 gold the difference. That's just showing you what that push down that top lane has really brought into the game for Alternate. Obviously the Baron hasn't been taken up until now, and you see that up there are a lot of wards from the Alternate side.
And not only, is it all stemming from that, that wasn't even an overextension. That was Kevin farming a couple of meters in front of his tower. He wasn't past the safety zone. It was simply a lack of vision. LCS didn't have control of their jungle, which allowed Alternate to make that play happen. And I think that if LCS want to prevent those things happening again, they're going to need a lot more wards. If you look at the minimap, I see 1 SK ward in the bottom half of the jungle and nothing else at the moment. And they simply need more vision, or they're just going to get collapsed on again and again and again.
Yeah, they've got Nif now with an Oracle on, but honestly, what do you do if the wards aren't already there? You're always risking it when you go into every single bush, especially against someone like Lee Sin, who's in your face before you even realize what's hit you there. Then you've got Twisted Fate to back up with a Destiny if he needs to go in there. Cretan actually being pulled down here, and there's the Lantern. Pulled to safety. That's a great thing about Thresh. Gives you that safety buffer for everyone.
What I really like about this is it shows that they practice with Thresh and the safety. SK are poising for a fight. They want to go in. Ocelot does have Flash available. Now, for Eleanor is split pushing down on the bottom lane. And we'll see whether or not he wants to join this party. If Alternate group up, Ocelot is going to use that Unstoppable Force.
Oh, they are going to go in onto this one. Aranea coming around the side. Ultimate ultimate comes out of Ken and Kerp, going very, very low. We'll pull up here for this one. There's his Zonya's being used as well, and in the meantime, SK are being shredded down. Candy Panda has to flash away. Hercubot is going down. That's 4 men for nothing right now. An alternate keep chasing here. RNA couldn't quite get in there. The wild cards didn't have the range. An alternate back away for Baron.
Alternate are demonstrating the answer to how do you deal with the Wombo combo. You pick Vladimir. He pulled underneath everything. When he reformulated as a vampire bloodling thing, he eventually wins Zonya's Hourglass, and he stood at 20% HP. They've spent so much time focusing and trying to kill him that when his Zonya's down, it just bought Creatine all the time in the world. He's at full HP. He was untouched in that entire team fight.
Yeah, and that's really bad news there as well. I mean, let's not forget Pharrell Lord in that whole time was pushing the bottom lane out as well. They managed to get rid of that inner turret, and the fact is he was in the fight when he needed to be as well. And that's another danger of Twisted Fate. We know this split push can be so ridiculously strong, and again, the elements of that coming into the play from Ultimate.
I also want to replay, like I just replayed in my mind how the positioning of that fight was. Jay Ree actually put down the box in the middle of the lane, and every single member of SK had to go pretty much through the first 2 walls of that box to get there. So at least 2 of them got slowed down, and I bet actually Cannon Slicing Maelstrom was affected by that box. He got slowed down entering in there, and it was just great zoning. In and around the box, that was where the Sanguine Pool was from Vladimir, and it was basically just saying, look, this is Thresh's power. This is his zone. We've got the damage-soaking shield from the Lantern. We've got the box to control the movement speed. And, you know, he basically just held everybody in place. So really, really good positional play from Ultin in that team fight.
Yeah, and let's not forget you got Lee Sin to kick that Kennen straight back out of the fight, or stop Nunu's damage for what it's worth at this point, at least, from going out there as well. And all over the place here, Alternate are looking very, very strong. That gold lead is now at 10,000. That's 4 minutes after I mentioned that it was 5,000 gold lead. So slowly but surely, Alternate are carving out a bigger and bigger lead for themselves.
And all it does is it buys you room for error. So having this additional gold buffer means you're going to have additional items. For example, you can see the Iceborne Gauntlets are now completed for Creatine. So that blue Ezreal, although a slightly different build order, is ended up in the same place. And it basically just means that he's now got some additional armor to work with. So if he overextends, takes a couple extra auto attacks from Candy Panda, he's going to be punished less for it because he's got this item and this gold advantage. Ace in the Hole gets channeled and hits Kerp for next to nothing. Basically right now it's just all on Ultimate keeping the pressure down.
Wow, Lord actually going in here on towards Ocelot. What is he trying to pull out from this one? Gets another stun card onto him. He's doing a lot of damage. That Twin Shadows was obviously used, and there is the Unstoppable Force burnt from Ocelot. And Ocelot will say thank you very much. That's Oz going in for a fight. And
Destiny's been used there by Twisted Fate. It looks like he wants to party. He's come actually behind 2 turrets. There's a crescendo.
Yeah, he gets crescendoed up, and he's actually going to die for that one. That was a catastrophe coming out there. But the rest of SK now going to feel a lot of pain as Kerp does use that Zonya's. He will fall after that. The hook comes in on towards Hercubot. Ocelot back into the fight. Double kill for Candy Panda. He won't be lucky enough to get away from Creatine though. And now it's all Ocelot, the man who had to use his ultimate to get away from the pressure in the top lane, who may just find himself dying right in the last stages of this fight.
Yeah, the power of that blue build Ezreal. So much damage over a prolonged team fight. I believe that was a quadra kill unofficially there for Creatine. Managed to get so much damage down. And the problem is that because SK don't have that, weren't able to single target focus Creatine, they simply couldn't remove him from the fight. They focused Vlad. Vlad Sanguine pulled, he got his hourglass up, and again, it's just a simple case of so many damage threats and not enough damage to kill your opponent's damage. Basically what it boils down to.
There is an inhibitor. First one of the game going down here for Alternate. And of course, the other 2 inhibitor turrets are open for the taking here, but Alternate looking like they want to back away because they've got a whole host of gold to spend. 2,200 gold for Creatine to spend. He is now up at 11,005, 1,200 on both Lee Sin and Twisted Fate, 1,300 even for Thresh to spend. So overall, they're in such a fantastic position. I've got a bit of deja vu coming on here from our last game where this is Alternate's game to throw.
Yeah, completely agree with you. There's no other words for it. The fact that Creatine's sitting on 2,400 gold, he's got a Doran's Blade in his back pocket. I imagine he's going to save up another 100, 150 gold, sell that Doran's, pick himself up a Guardian Angel, and look to go unkilled in this matchup. 11-0-5. Out of his team's 19 kills, he's been there for 16 of them. That is a massive percentage. I'm
Yeah.
not going to try to do math right now, but like 80+%.
It's like
kill
16
percentage.
out of 19%.
That much, like, which is massive. And if you've got all of those kills in your carry, it is a risky build, dare I say, because if he gets dropped, then the rest of your team may falter. But because you've got Lee Sin, Vlad, Twisted Fate, basically they've got more people to clean up even if he goes down. And I was proven wrong. He got a Hex Drinker instead. More damage.
More damage. Why not? Why not add that in there? That DFG just makes for Ellenlord even more scary. We saw him almost take down Ocelot earlier on. That was without that. So, yeah.
And it's quite interesting as well, the build order that for Ellenlord's gone, because generally if you go for like a Lich Bane first, you tend to go double Dorans plus Lich Bane, so you can actually get the benefit out of the Lich Bane proc by having some ability power stacked up. He doesn't have the highest amount of ability power, which means even after he hits the Lich Bane, the DFG, followed up with Lich Bane, followed up with Magic, right now Ultimate for Ellenlord just got a free tower. SK did absolutely nothing. They didn't try to contest. Super Minions are in the Nexus, and right now it's just Alternate are basically finding opportunities where there were none.
I think this could well be it here in these next couple of minutes, to be honest with you. Alternate right now are going to be pushing in towards that inhibitor turret in the middle lane. They're going to have to fight for this one. We are going to see that crescendo coming out. Ocelot gets into the middle of the fight, but he's going to be a dead man. That's the first kill here. It's Creaton again that picks that one up. Candy Panda burning away at back. There's the ultimate coming through from Creaton. Kevin finally takes down for Ellenlord. Well, that's a double kill now for Creaton. Don't forget, he got 4 in that last engagement. And right now, Alternate pushing in for inhibitor number 2. The third one, of course, in the middle lane. Should they decide to go in here?
Oh, that's a brave Candy Panda.
And that is a very dead Candy Panda. Kevin actually gets in there with his ultimate, uses the Zhonya's. He's going to die straight away afterwards. Creaton now legendary at 14-0-6 from this one. The Nexus turrets are going to go down, and this is a victory for Alternate, taking down MOHGamiing for another win here in their first season of the LCS.
The #1 team of the summer split of the LCS is Alternate Attacks right now. Doing so well. Absolutely fantastic game. Completely controlling that matchup.
They're 3-for-1 now, right?
I'm going to double check that. I'm going to double check
Which
that.
actually means that Meet Your Makers are ahead of them.
No, I believe they're 4-0. Because they beat Lemon Dogs this morning. No, it's 3-0. They're 3-0. They're 3-0. They're 3-0. 3-0. My math is terrible. My math is terrible.
It has been a long weekend, and the good news is that there are a lot more games to come today, of course, and tomorrow. We're going to have 3 more games tomorrow, but Alternate really showing once again that they are a force to be reckoned with right now, and doing a bit of a Cloud9.
My question to every other team in the LCS, how do you ban Alternate? Because they've demonstrated so many strategies, so many champions, and so much diversity. What do you do to counter them?